Alright, what's up my Guild Wars friends? What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be running the Fissue of Woe using the exact same team build that I featured in my video yesterday. So in my video yesterday, I talked about the June 24 skill update for Mesmers that shook up the Mesmer comp, the Mesmer meta. So what they did is they took down some of the damage from the domination line, but secretly they snuck in some buffs, especially to illusion and signet of illusions. That has now enabled me to basically create these hybrid Mesmers, hybrid illusion domination Mesmers. Again, I've only been playing with these builds for about 3 or 4 days, so nothing in here is final, but it's definitely stronger than it was before. And remember, I've been playing with this for over a decade, a lot of these Mesmer interactions, and I can confidently say that this is a buff, especially if you kind of go down the illusion focus that I've actually had for a long time, which is to use frustration as that core damage dealing skill. So I'm gonna get started. We're gonna be running Fissue of Woe. I haven't run Fissue of Woe in probably 5 years, so I'm very rusty, but I wanted to kind of sit with you guys for a while so you guys could see the full life cycle of this team build. Keep in mind, because my build is optimized for Foundry of Failed Creations on hard mode, I've definitely over-indexed in defense. This build will not be necessarily the #1 fastest team out there because, well, there's a lot of defense that I could give up if I wanted more speed, but the reliability makes it good for, I mean, well, I haven't done it in Fissue of Woe yet, but conceptually, the additional tankiness is going to be good for kind of that durability in these long missions. And as you guys can tell, it takes a while to get all my bonds, my refrain set up. Which is why this particular setup is actually not the best for going like map to map. Like if you're generally running through the game, if you're playing through the missions, this 2 minutes of setup every time is not ideal. So if you're running through less competitive content, what I would recommend is you either simply don't cast these 3 refrains, or you get rid of them and replace them entirely. And what you can do is just, when you go into a new map, only cast heroic refrain. Let this hero handle mending refrain, because they'll cast it on their own when necessary. I personally prefer to precast it for safety reasons. But, you know, if you're going to only spend like 3 or 4 minutes in a map, you're just running through it, like, this setup would just be ridiculous. So what you could do is, if you're going through general PvE content, you could actually get rid of these 3 refrains, or, you know, whichever ones. Hasty might be nice to have, but Blade Turn and Burning are kind of luxuries that I've thrown on just because, you know, like, why not? What am I doing? Okay, refrain. So I have all my 4 refrains up. There's just this one on the character that I need to kind of... So you can actually look the way I do it. So you see how he doesn't have the 3 regen next to his red health bar? So Hero 5 needs it. I don't even look for the icon anymore. I just look for those 3 pips. So the next one will be 4. You can kind of queue that up. And then it'll be 3, 2... So 3, 2... And then we'll be good to go. Like, I know this is annoying. Like, I want to show you guys how annoying it is to get this build up and running. But once it's up and running... Okay, so we have it on everybody. Okay, so... Rastigan. Okay, so what you... At this part, he can't die. So you need to make sure that Rastigan stays alive. I was stupid, and this is actually my second time recording this. Thankfully, I only spent about 2 minutes. Again, I haven't done Fissure in 5 years, so you'll have to forgive me. But yeah, I was like running through. I'm like, oh, this is doing great, and instantly my team failed, and I died, and I wiped. but it wasn't because of any damage. It's because I wasn't following Rastigan. So we won't be making that mistake again. I'm going to be keeping careful track of my allies. What is like the trigger for him to get him to move? Is it a timer? Okay, I'm carefully watching him. I don't know which direction he's gonna run, but so he's standing over there. Do I have to trigger him? Okay, this is going to be a theme that I think is going to become more and more apparent as we move through this map. I'm literally over-indexed in defense, in like shutdown. Where'd he go? Oh, he's still there. Okay. I'm now paranoid of Rastigan like dying. So this is going to be a theme that I think is going to become pretty obvious as we move through this map. Because I had optimized this team for so long in Foundry, it now seems like a little bit slow here, because basically the first step that my heroes do when they arrive, especially like, is they pepper them up with all these hexes that honestly are very good, very reliable for shutting down and surviving, but to be honest, like not the fastest. Okay, so I think I hit a trigger, I heard a sound, and now Rastigan is running and he can't die, so I'm going to be carefully. So he's running over here. The Guild Wars OG experts, they'll know exactly like but I'm actually a noob in this zone. I really, like, it's been years, and honestly, I didn't even do it that much. I was always attracted, because these enemies are so easy, it's like, why bother? But for a lot of teams, they're not easy. I do remember dying a lot. But not this team. So this team is just so good that... Man, I almost, like... I'm going to be spending this whole video, like, whining about how slow this is in general content and like making concessions. So yeah, in general content, like what I would do if I were you, if I was going to be somebody that was going to adopt this build, I would like, first of all, get it up and running in this state, because this is kind of like the highest form of it, the safest and kind of, but then I would slowly start to crank it for speed if you're not going to be in Foundry. Does that make sense? So adding a damage skill to your healer here, like he doesn't need as much healing as he has. Like maybe replacing preservation with like icy veins. You could nix most of these 3 refrains and replace them with why is Rastigan not moving? You could replace him with, what's that running shout? Like retreat or fall back? That'll make you move a little faster. Do I have to kill all these guys? The triggers are not clear. This is a really old quest. Like the triggers that make him move. I'm sure the old heads like know exactly what they are, but okay, I heard a... Oh. Okay, it's in the quest log. It's telling me I should keep this open. I'm going to keep that open right there. Actually, there is a... task tracker. They added this with the Reforged. I always just disabled it because I don't do quests anymore. But here, I just turned that on. Maybe that'll prevent a wipe. So the number one thing I don't want to do is have an ally die. Like, there's probably zero risk of me dying in this map. But there is a risk of me getting ejected because one of my allies dies. Okay, so destroy the Forest Banshees. You have 5 more Banshees left. Do not harm the Wailing Lord. That might be a problem. Like, it's these kind of quest conditions that are the biggest risk for me. It's not the actual combat, because this like, I think, like, the big takeaway that I want to communicate is, like, this team, more than any other team I've ever seen, like, quote-unquote, solves the combat, and, like, it kind of, with these Mesmers, it solves, like, the game. Does that make sense? Like, so it might not be like necessarily the fastest, and maybe you could optimize slightly for speed, but as far as, like, a build that will win always, that if, like, for example, if your team just crashes into another team of allies, wow, and I get a death, of course, right, like, literally as I say it. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, I can pop them all. I can res them all with my shout, so it's, like, not an existential risk. It's the AoE. Like, I need to flag them better. Well, actually, I don't want to flag them, but that's very ironic. I deserve that. But let's keep moving. Very ironic. Like, that's dramatic irony. Like, in the textbook sense, like, when when hubris and then immediate, like, punishment from God. I deserve that. Not to worry. In hard mode, the good thing is that, okay, now I'm, like, gonna be more cautious, but the good thing is that in hard mode, you get so much experience that your death penalty rolls off really fast. So I'm not actually worried about death penalty. I'm concerned about, okay, so what is actually causing, I think it was these AoE, yeah, it's the, I think they had a Maelstrom on the Water Elementalist, and then on the Ether Breaker, they have, Chaos Storm. I think that's probably what caused the deaths, but, like, for me, like, this build pops back so nicely. It's more of, like, entertaining than actually, like, threatening. Okay, 2 Ice Hands and 2 Ether Breakers, so we're gonna get the AoEs. If I see them, yeah, I'm just gonna flag just to get my guys. Okay, and there's the Maelstrom. Get my guys out of it. Cancel the flag. Yes, being optimized for a different map. Very embarrassing, to be honest, to talk about how great it is and then die. So I ate my hat there. But we keep moving. Okay, and you do need to be careful if you do have death penalty. So see how he only has 200 health now? Hero 2, so you do need to make sure he has Mending Refrain on him. And number 5, he needs Mending Refrain. Signets cost 10 energy to use. Hexes have double the cast time. Well, that's a problem. Thankfully, they don't do any damage. Yeah, Signet's costing 10 energy is interesting. 300 seconds. I don't think they must. I think yeah, that must have been part of the update. That's 310 seconds. That is a very long duration. That is longer than anything I remember. And 2-second cast time. That's new. Okay, so there are a lot of patrols. I'm wondering, like, I'm torn between running straight down this aisle because I'm really not taking much damage, but I don't want to risk over aggroing. Like, it's just slow. Yeah, so the thing about this team is, like, it has this, like, curve where for the first 5 seconds, the enemies actually don't take all that much damage until, like, second 5 when they just get blown up. That's kind of how this works. So they take a few seconds to get... So you see they're kind of sit at full health for a second, but then it's like... And they go down. It's because it takes a second to get them coated with the hexes. But then once they're coated, just a few... like, for example, once guilt hits them and they get 16 energy stolen, they'll start auto-attacking, and then once they're auto-attacking, they'll hit Wandering Eye. But it takes, like, up to 6 seconds, which, believe it or not, is, like, longer than maybe most other teams would take to kind of get rolling. I'm going to go around and just get these patrols, because I know I'm going to escort the Griffins in a second. So this way there's the Banshees and the Wailing Lord, but then after that, I think they give you Griffins, and you have to escort them back. So I don't want any patrols. Yeah, look at these elemental. This team is one of the things it's optimized for is elementalists. Elementalists usually cannot really get any skills off because they typically have those longer casting times and their spells. And what that means is, like, this team will just shred them. They'll first of all get the spell casting extended by Arcane Conundrum and Frustration, and then obviously, like, interrupted by Power Spike, Cry, and they'll fail because of Guilt. Because Elementalists really are the biggest risk of, like, those one-shots, the spectacular, like, in hard mode, those, like, spectacular one-shots that do, like, 300 damage, like, that can happen. In Domain of Anguish hard mode, like, the Rage Titans are kind of the, prototypical example. Okay, so I can't kill the Wailing Lord, so... Normally, I'm not a big fan of flagging because often my heroes run out of range and my refrains fall off. And also, like, I'm lazy, so I don't like manually flagging. But in the case of the Wailing Lord, I think I remember this quest enough where it's like, if I walk over there, Wailing Lord is going to die. I'm just taking care of these mobs. Okay, so I'm gonna put a flag. I'm gonna pull. Bridges are so messed up in this game, like the physics. Okay, you guys, any day now. They don't want to kill that Spirit Shepherd. Okay. Just take care of this. Get the Impaler. I'm not going to flag them any closer because... In fact, I might move them back. Because... I wipe if... Okay, aggro... The Banshees. Those are large. They look like ritual spirits, but they're like twice as big. Okay, aggro, pull. I'm just not going near the Wailing Lord. That's a trick. You just make sure the flag so that my people don't go anywhere near a Wailing Lord. Okay, I'm gonna tag the rest of the Banshees. That one. Oh, my... Shoot. I made a huge mistake. It's so embarrassing. My refrains just fell off because I ran out of range. That's... Okay, I'm just gonna grab the last Banshee. And I'll refresh my refrains, like... That's so annoying. That's the one thing, but like flagging always leads to this situation. I told you, I warned you that it was gonna happen, and it happened. Okay, so the Wailing Lord is now friendly. Flag, you're gone now. So this build, like I said, it's very, very good for solving. There's the bridge physics. You see this? How bad look at this bridge physics. Oh, what happened to you guys? Just hanging out under the bridge. Okay. They hit that. I think they hit a nest of traps. Okay, a gift of griffins. Escort all 3 griffins safely to the Tower of Courage. Okay, I'm just... this bond monitor is really nice, by the way. If you have Toolbox... It'll track your bonds. Where's the griffins? Why are they over there? It tracks your bonds right here if they're active, and then you can also click these squares to recast. That's so I wanted to give you guys like a really honest, really sort of frank demonstration of the drawbacks of this build. It's very, very cumbersome with these refrains. Very, very cumbersome. Flagging ruins them. Quickening Zephyr ruins them because the shout never ends. Anything out of range ends them. If a hero dies, they end and you have to recast. But under regular conditions, they stay up forever, and your team is a lot stronger when they're up. So, really nice to, I would say, like, if you're an investor, like, I'm very much, like, investor mindset. It's like an investment that you nurture, and it pays dividends. So, I'm just gonna micro mending refrain. Okay. You don't want to have a micro waiting to go if you engage, because he won't cast anything else. Okay, so these guys have those AoEs, which I'm nervous about, and the traps. Okay, I'm literally looking at the health bar of my griffins. And I'm going to force my healer to heal them. Because they have the traps and the AoEs, it could be a huge problem. Like, again, microwaving, not a fan, but I'm a bigger not fan of griffins running into a nest of traps and exploding. So, oh, they're my look, they're freaking. Yeah, everybody's gonna. I know that this is the thing. Everybody's gonna go to the comments. They're gonna rip me for like, oh, this build sucks. It's like too cumbersome with the refrains. It is. It is. No argument. This is not built for this. But it's still really good. I in a lot of ways I prefer the safety over. Uh-oh. You need to be healed. Yeah, you see, I saw the griffin run into the near the ranger. I'm gonna go set off these traps. Okay. My attention is literally completely on the health bar of the griffins. Okie dokie, keep moving. I'm also keeping an eye on the mending refrain on my heroes. And it fell off again. This team is not built for moving. So who's missing health recharge? That's so sad. You see how he invested like 10 seconds into trying to cast that through, like, he spent, oh, a shard, thank you. He spent like 10 seconds trying to cast the resurrection because he was hexed with Arcane Conundrum, and then at the very last second I interrupted him. Like, very sad. Okay, so this quest is done. What's next? Okay, so we started here. Why does it take me over there? Okay, I'm gonna do Army of Darkness. I'm gonna pray to God that I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. It's just weird. It's like, again, this is like quest design issues in World of Warcraft. Not that I play it very much anymore, but they would know never to leave you without a quest. Like, they should chain the quests in a way that, like, you're never left standing in the zone with, like, where do I go? Like, if I was a noob, or if I didn't have this, like, external resource. Okay, somebody fell out of earshot range. His things might fall off. Where's this? You can call targets on priorities. I don't want that maelstrom to go off. Also, I'm gonna set off these traps, assuming they get any off. Yes. Okay. It's control spacebar. Target them, control spacebar. I don't want that AoE, so I'm just calling him out. Yeah, the other enemies are literally trash that I don't care about, that pose no threat to me whatsoever. Okay, I'm just gonna grab this group just because I... 3 ice hands. This is actually going to be a little bit more more intense. I'm going to flag them if... I got deep frozen. Like, I saw this coming. And the AoEs. Okay, I need blood ritual immediately. Thank you. I wonder if that was too long. If here's the thing, if I run out of energy, I fall below 10, I can't keep my shouts up, and then all of my poor refrains fall off. My roommate, sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the Army of Darkness first. If I recall, that is just up here. I'm worried about these patrols. I don't know exactly where they go. I'm not super familiar, but I don't like that they're patrolling kind of where I need to go, so... Uh-oh. Where did you guys come from? Okay, so I'm gonna... How many ice hands are there? If it's only berserkers and bonders... Etherbreaker. Okay, so... I'm watching this other patrol up north. Really? Well, my team's taking a little break. You guys don't want to kill him? I'm just taking care of the patrols. I'm not super familiar with their patrol, so... Okay, Etherbreaker. I don't like the Chaos Storm. Oh, he has Cry as well. Hero 2 needs, and 4 and 1 needs the Mending Refrain. A slight problem is that Mending Refrain only gets cast if they fall below a certain health percentage, which usually doesn't happen, so a lot of the time it rolls off, never gets recasted. Okay, so there's a AoE right there, which I don't like. Okay, I'm not familiar with... Oh, really? Really? It's more amusing than anything, but... Because I have We Shall Return? That's funny. Okay, so again, what you guys are seeing is literally my first time playing through this in 5 years. I was aware kind of all these like pitfalls, like somewhere deep in my mind, but very, very funny to to get wrecked by nested traps. That could have been much worse than it was. That's game knowledge that I should have had, which my viewers now do have. Okay, so that's why it's good to keep the refrain on, because how do I explain this? It's actually like you guys are, if you guys are aware of the 55 monk, the way that protective spirit prevents your health from falling below, excuse me, below 10% per hit, like on a per hit basis, it can't be higher than 10%. Shelter has that same effect, and it's party wide, right? So having lower health on your heroes, like you see how I have this lower health, it's risky. It's kind of like a high risk, or slightly high risk strategy, but to have lower max health under shelter means you're taking less damage per hit. And then if you have Mending Refrain, it's actually like, how do I explain this? Like, so normally my heroes, when they're in normal state, have 330 health, most of them. Like, they have death penalty now, so it's a little bit lower. In fact, dangerously low. You don't want a lot of death penalty, but at 330 health, 10% of that is 33, so they're only going to take 33 damage, assuming everything is going according to plan. And then if they only take 33 health, then 3 health regeneration, even just 3, which is not a lot, results in 6 health per second. So literally, without doing anything, after about 6 seconds, they're back to full health after a single hit, which is not... I mean, obviously hits happen more often than 6 seconds, but that's a significant... It's almost like they're all 55 monks, like, in a small way. Like, the same kind of logical... I'm checking for... Before, I'm waiting to engage to make sure that they all have... Do I have... Yes. So I'm going to pull... Shoot, I forget how this pull works, because there is a pretty strong monk over here that has Word of Healing. I know that. Okay, I'm just going to try. Let's see if it pulls the monk. No. Okay, I don't think I'm at much risk here. So he's not going to have any energy. So this Lich will just be standing there, basically trying to auto-attack, but not being able to. And then he'll be blowing up on Wandering Eye. So no energy. And when he does get enough energy to even try to attack, it just fails because guilt hits him. Okay, that was pretty easy as expected. This one will be slightly... how am I going to approach this pull? I'm going to actually go from this side and hit the monks first, because 2 monks right next to each other could be a little bit annoying. Like, not super annoying, but... Word of Healing. Okay, he's dead. And Menzies, another monk. Yeah, that was really not a problem. So there's the Unholy Text. The quest tells me to bring that back. Ooh, you see that patrol? It's the Bonders and Berserkers, so not a huge threat. It's the Icebreakers. Oh, there's a Lich over there. I didn't know that they had a Lich on the other side of this platform. Not that he's a threat at all, but it's a very interesting and unique. Like, 32 is actually probably one of the highest. So is the Dragon Lich in Fissure of Woe at level 32 the highest level enemy in the game? He's a very unique enemy. Something went wrong. Is he the highest level enemy in the game? ChatGPT doesn't want to... It's not working. They need to work on their app. But I still want to know. I still want to know. I'll ask later. Their Windows app is shit. Yeah, it always does that. Like, I think it's just the ChatGPT Windows app, at least at this point, is just a web wrapper on Windows. It just pulls up their website in like a little app. And it's not very strong. Like, it kind of... Opening and closing like that doesn't work well with the... They want it to... I thought I lost it. Holy fuck, their app is so bad. Okay. I need to move that. You see that? Okay. This is fun. I'm actually like really, even though this is kind of like low level, or not low level, but like for me, like I'm having fun here because what I'm doing is I'm taking this build places where it's never really been before. I haven't run this for a very long time. With only relatively recently did I start bringing Hasty Refrain, which is a really nice quality of life. It's basically that movement speed increase, and having it on everybody is just in general really nice. What am I holding? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was still holding the book. I picked up the next quest without finishing this one. But yeah, this is engaging for me. First of all, because it's high stakes. This is being recorded in real time. So if I die, I lose an hour. A lot of the time, like I've had this like, oh, I'm gonna record my video finally, but then I do the run and then I wipe for whatever reason, and okay, perfect. So I wipe for whatever reason, and you know, all the commentary, all the little comments, and the little knowledge that I give along the way, wipe, just delete, just delete the video. Like, why would anybody share like a failed run? I'm not popular enough yet to share failed runs. Okay, warriors. It's like why even bother? Like a warrior's like, I don't think my health bar even moved that whole fight. Oh, patrol. Okay, you gotta watch out for that. Another patrol. Uh-oh. That's tricky. I don't feel particularly threatened. Maybe the Ether Breaker I don't like, but that's tricky. You see how they designed that to wreck people. I wonder how many teams that like in the history of the game. I wonder how many people that these extra spawns have wrecked. Like I kind of saw them coming like a second too late. You know, if my build wasn't, you know, so robust, that would have been bad. Man, very Mesmers. Oh yeah, that panic. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, not much of a chance. There's all balled up there. Should I open the lock chest? Weak. Okay, so I remember this. You have to run around this ring, clear everybody out. I wonder if there's anything dangerous in here. So, monks, mesmers, rangers, a few necros. Oh, thank you, shard. I'm a very lazy player. Very, very lazy. My whole philosophy, like kind of what I've built my team around is not engaging. like I'm too scatterbrained. Like I'm sure you guys can tell, but like I literally can't. I hate playing rotations. Like I'm not gonna do that, especially in kind of a slow game like this. Like I just offload that onto my heroes, let them do the rotations. I just want to be like a manager. Like I just kind of want to stand above them and make sure everything's going well. That's why for me, like the like you see my build. Obviously, there's no rotation. I literally the only thing I cast is these two shouts every 20 seconds, and that's literally the only work that I do actively. On a kind of more passive and ongoing basis, I do like sort of like lord over them. I keep an eye on the enemies just to make sure that there's no like big AoEs that are gonna hit. I maintain my refrains and I try to maintain them in the allies in, keep them in earshot to make sure that here I'll just cut through. My ritualist is... I literally saw him standing there doing nothing. I like having him do nothing because his role is so... He needs to be like... People have asked me, I think in my previous video there was a comment, like, oh, why do you only have 5 skills? I would do 4 skills. I'm thinking about taking off Blood Ritual. But the reason I put on Blood Ritual is they recently reduced its casting time. Like, my ideal situation for that ritualist is to stand there and do nothing and be like literally not even auto attacking, because remember if I put him on guard, he'll auto attack. Actually, he'll auto attack more than anybody else because everybody else is casting skills, but he doesn't have any skills to cast under like regular, except for his spirits. So he'll be standing there doing nothing. He actually has the availability. Like, where is he? Yeah, he just stands there literally doing nothing. But that's actually what keeps me alive, is because he is completely available. Because Shelter dies on, especially under pressure. Like once the charges on Shelter start getting used, the health of Shelter drops because it loses 35 health every time. Less if it has Armor of Unfeeling, but he needs to be sitting there like primed, literally over the, like, he has a button to save my team. The most important button on the team. He needs to be standing there with his finger on the button, which is why I don't even like him auto-attacking. I don't even like Blood Ritual. I only added it just after this June 24th update, like 3 or 4 days ago, because they lessened the casting time, and I was thinking about disabling it. Like, you can hit shift-click to, like, turn it off, and microing it on myself. I like to have a little bit of energy because I only have the human Paragon only has these 2 health regen, energy regen, and so it's only at the beginning when I'm getting my refrains up and running. I need the extra energy, or it's gonna take me twice as long. Like I'm literally sitting there waiting for my energy to. Oh, I forgot about this part. Defend the temple. Okay, this is not going to be a challenge at all, but like they need to go through and update this. Like in my opinion, if they're going to do anything, they need to sort of rebalance the high-end endgame areas around, you know, 10 or 15 years of power creep, because like this is not challenging. Like people, it's just not challenging. Like the timers, the skills on the enemies, the kind of composition of the enemy teams, the timers that sense, because I remember these, like this particular quest, the enemies will kind of like wait for a timer and then charge the central platform. Like these timers are completely obsolete. Like they're so easy. Maybe it's just my team, but I can't imagine this particular quest being a particular challenge to just about anybody. And I would like it. I would like a stronger challenge. Like this team build would sort of that gets me into the balance problem. So I'm very well aware that I am like sitting on the bleeding edge of the highest power Mesmer build possible, if that makes sense. Like I recognize that most teams that run through this content are not going to be quite as optimized with, like, you know, ultra Mesmer shutdowns like I have. So maybe it is balanced for the average team, which is not going to be quite doing this, at least the hero teams. But part of balance is a really interesting question. I sort of didn't want to get into it because I have a lot of ideas, and I'm afraid that, you know, if 2 weeks, like, the developers heard, then I would lose my precious Mesmers. But maybe I need to lose them, because getting into balance, I have a lot to say about. I have a lot of ideas about this June 24 patch. So the only thing they did was that really, like, is they tuned down some of the numbers on domination, but that actually didn't affect my team at all, really, because most of my damage comes from illusion anyways, and then they buffed illusion with a signet of illusions. The problem is that the real strength of, like, domination is not even the damage numbers. Like, that helps, and that's a part of it, but what am I doing now? Okay, I just want to make sure So I have these 2 quests now. What's the meta order? The seeds. Okay, I'm just gonna go there. Seeds of Corruption. This is a weird patrol. I got distracted because I'm actually not too familiar with this part of the Fissure. Kobe. Okay, I think Kobe is kind of standalone, but I'm gonna go the other way first. Okay, so I got distracted. I was thinking about the balance. The problem, and I was going on a tangent about the power of domination, well, in Mesmer more generally, it's that the real power of Mesmer doesn't actually come from its damage, although its damage is incredible. I think what they need to do, if you're listening, they need to bring almost all of Illusion and Domination down by another 50%. Like, literally another 50%. Because, like, it's like the shutdown that's the real strength here. So they have shutdown and they have damage. I think what they need to do is parse them apart. I think they need to seriously consider, like, so if something has, like, a major interrupt, it can't be doing 100 damage. Like, that's not fair. It's not balanced. Like, the problem is, like, for example, even Signet of Clumsiness, interrupt and 75 damage? 75 damage is more than Elemental, like, it's more than, and it's armor ignoring, and does shutdown. It's not fair. Like, you're never gonna have an Elementalist team if Mesmer can do that same amount of damage, and do the interrupt. And then the interrupt procs Frustration, which is the core of my build. So, this is the core of my build. It's these 4 skills right here. Like, literally these 4 skills. Frustration, slows down casting, and punishes interrupts. And then you put on 3 interrupts. And then not only do these do mega damage. By the way, this number's higher. It's almost 100. This is 140. And you get the interrupt. So, like, this is too powerful. These 3. So, 2 weeks. If you're listening, it's these 3 skills that need to go. They don't need to go all the way, but you literally just take the damage off them. Or make it like 20 damage. Make it 20 damage. Because the damage should not be higher than a Mesmer, or sorry, than an Elementalist, like, fully spec'd into fire. It doesn't make any sense. Like if the Elementalist is going to be doing exclusively damage, why would you make the Mesmer do the same amount of damage and do the interrupt? Like, you need to parse them apart. Make it so I could do the interrupts or the shutdown. Interrupts in general are problematic. Even the idea, the concept of, like, interrupts is problematic. Interrupts need to be more scarce, because they make the rest of the game, like, obsolete. Because everything, all the damage, is channeled through skills. Like, anything the enemy does, like, look, anything any other class does is parsed through casting a skill. Like, casting a skill is the way the rest of the game works. The combat system works. But then you have one class that just, like stops enemies from using skills? How can you have that in the game and then call it a balanced game? You can't. So, anything that interrupts, you need to double the cooldown. Like, double it. Take away all the damage, or like 20 damage. Not 140 damage. Not 100 damage. 20 damage. And then double the cooldown. And make them way more scarce. Make them way more expensive, way more scarce. Because punishing a skill, removing a skill, is the most powerful thing you can possibly do. And you give it to us for free on a Signet? Used by a hero AI that can do it instantly? With fast casting? So even the cooldown, like, fast casting needs a rework. You need to get rid of the so keep the fast casting component. Let Mesmers cast skills faster, but take off the recharge. So each rank of fast casting decreases the recharge time for your Mesmer skills by 3%. So if you have 20... Wait, how much does he have? If you have 19 fast casting times 3, 57. 57? 57? Wait. Like, obviously I knew this was happening, but how... Like, 57? What you need to do is double... like, get rid of that. Or double... Like, just get rid of that. That's too powerful. Like, give them one or the other. Give them the recharge or the... Just get rid of the recharge component of fast casting. That they added that later. That was already never balanced. Get rid of that, because that just... It's just too much, and it makes everything else impossible to balance. Like, this 12 seconds becomes 6 seconds. Think about that. The 12-second recharge on Wandering Eye becomes 6 seconds. And so they're pumping that every 8 to, 9 seconds. Obviously a little bit less because they're stupid, but... Look at that. Spins around. Oh, it's ready again. Oh, it's ready again. And it shuts down all your skills. Oh, interrupted. I have frustration. Like, boom, you just blew up for 90... Wait... 95 plus 130 damage instantly, and you didn't get spell. Dude, delete Mesmer, dude. How dare they? How dare they? How could, like, go sit in your meeting room. Go, like, 2 weeks. Go have a team meeting, a balance meeting. Because this will change PvE. This will turn the whole game upside down. And everybody will be pissed, but... Like, right now... Melee is obsolete. Elementalists are obsolete. Rangers are obsolete. Because... Mesmer's... So here, hold a team meeting with your team. Okay, that mission's complete. Hold a team meeting. On the whiteboard, you say, Mesmer deleted. Deleted Mesmer. No. Really, what you actually do is get rid of the recharge decreasing component of fast casting. That's not fair. That's not balanced. It was never balanced that way. That sent Mesmer's like off the freaking deep end. I'm gonna do Kobe. Then, anything that interrupts or interacts with interruption, double the cooldown, or increase the cooldown by another 50%, especially Wandering Eye, Sign of Clumsiness, and get rid of, well, I like Frustration, but it needs to come down. Get rid of the double damage from skill interruption. It's too much damage. It's 130 damage. Like this, what I have right now, it's not acceptable. Like, the game would literally be more fun if I could bring Elementalists, but I can't. I want to use Fire Elementalists. I want to use Air Elementalists. I think those are cool. It would be cool to have a Ranger, or like an Assassin, or a Dervish. I think there's a lot of like interesting build play, but all of it is obsolete because Mesmer's so take a look at my build and then delete it. You guys, like, build this build yourself and then delete it from the game. Okay, let's see what Kobe's up to. Okay, so the one skill that I'm like looking at so critically is this Blood Ritual. I hate having a 5th skill on my... I love keeping... Even... So here's the thing about these blank spaces on my ritual list. Again, I explained this before, but I want him to sit doing nothing, literally waiting with his hand above the button, so that literally within a split second of shelter going down... Oh, there's a patrol coming. Literally within a split second of... It's not a dangerous patrol. Within a split second of shelter going down, I want him sitting with his finger on the button to put it back up. And he does, and that's how it works. But Blood Ritual is problematic because... I have my tablet plugged in. Because I was playing Reforged on mobile, which is great, by the way. I have some thoughts about that. Mostly interface. The hero, right now, it's a little bit glitched. The hero menus don't remember the location. So every time you switch maps, these hero panels, like this one, reset location, which makes it unplayable. Literally unplayable. literally unplayable, but otherwise really fun. I think it could work. Also, I don't think this is one interaction that I wasn't able to find on mobile. Maybe it is there. It's, you see how I'm using shift click to disable hero skills? I'm not sure that that interaction's there. Maybe press and hold. I haven't tested, but I remember like being on mobile. I was like, oh, I need to disable a certain skill. And I wasn't able to on mobile. At least I didn't figure it out right away. And then I got mad. Don't even put a resurrection skill on this ritualist, because it's tempting to bring like a secondary profession or like a resurrection skill, because it just seems like it's like, oh, just put it there. The problem with putting a resurrection skill on that ritualist is, or you could probably have one if you keep it disabled. Like if you shift click. Oh, what the heck? Oh, the infernal worm. If you disable the resurrection skill, you could probably put it there, but don't leave it there for him to cast automatically, because it's literally the exact moment that a hero dies is when you need his rituals the most. You cannot afford to have him disappear for 6 seconds or 5 seconds or 4 seconds to resurrect, because it's those 4 seconds when you're under pressure and somebody's dead or dying that you need him to be lording over these two spirits and keeping them up. I've had many team wipes because maybe not like so many for this exact problem, because I noticed it was a problem right away. If like, because something special happens when a party member dies, it basically flips a flag and gives everybody permission to use their resurrection skills, and often you'll have, in fact, I think it's problematic. I even had this negative interaction with having 2 We Shall Returns. It seems like ultra powerful to have 2, but the problem is that the second somebody dies, like, first of all, if somebody's dying, that's already a crisis for your team, and you need to be at full attention, everybody doing full cycles, because you're under pressure and you're dying. Like, you need the shutdown. And, like, the second somebody hits 0, 2 of my heroes instantly cast it at the same time sometimes, and so boom, my team loses 50 energy, 25 each, which is devastating. The guy pops right away, but sometimes if they're in an AoE, they'll just die right again. So I was actually thinking of getting rid of one of these shouts and replacing it. Okay, there's 2 groups here, and I didn't aggro. He, like, one of them wiggled, like, right. Okay, now they're aggroed. I'll be okay, but so, like, this is like the big brain stuff that keeps me engaged. Is like, for example, having 2 We Shall Returns. I've noticed that when a hero dies, they both cast it instantly. First of all, because their energy is so good, even at that deep into a fight, they'll still have enough to afford it. But it's problematic that they cast at the same time, because you don't need 2 casts of it. But then, let's say later in the fight they can't afford it, one of them will cast it. So do you want them both to have it or not? I don't know. I haven't solved that problem. Maybe I could disable it, one of them. But what if he has energy and he doesn't? What are you doing over there? Did he run all the way around? I think he must have. He's behind me. That's funny. What are you doing over there? Oh, I have my spear out. Oops. Ah, and he gave me a shard. Thank you very much. Okay, so Kobe's up here. Is there... I forget what skills these guys have. Kobe... So they have the siege worms. Are these just warriors? Oh, look, Kobe didn't aggro. He's in a separate party. That's... Okay, this one's a monk. This one's a warrior. This one's an elementalist. But they have the same name. That's... interesting. I'm like dying of heat, by the way. It's like so hot in my room. Just for you guys, like normally what I do is I keep my refresh rate at 60. Like because I have like I have 240 hertz, which is pretty good. But I turn it down to 6 during the summer. It's like summer right now. Hot. Like I have an AC in the other room, but I turn my hertz down to 60. I turn my graphics down. Turn my lights off to keep it cool. Kobe's a Mesmer. Okay, so what are the last two quests? I don't want to aggro that. Okay, fine. They make me aggro the... Okay. So yeah, it's like really hot in my room. I normally turn down my graphics, literally my graphics settings to try to lower the temperature of my gaming PC. But for you guys, I turned up the graphics. And also it's like recording, which requires more like horsepower. So it heats up my room. Hot, very hot. I also need to pee. TMI. Shouldn't have said that. Reshards. They need to update the AI of life. Life should not be cast out of combat. Like, maybe there's a reason they have it do that. Like, maybe people wanted that. But it causes my healer to constantly lag every 20 seconds. Like, he loses a second, so he moves like more than it. He loses like a second and a half every 20 seconds. And so he lags. He falls behind the rest of the party. And then sometimes that, if I'm moving around, it causes his shouts to fall off. So that's why, like, I pause like usually I take the opportunity to like, yeah, but I basically can't, like, the fact that life gets cast on recharge out of combat makes it so I can't run in a straight line. Like, indefinitely. I have to stop. Okay, I'm really, because I'm like an hour. How long am I into this? Have I been going for an hour? Probably. It doesn't say. Tower of Strength. Clear the... Okay, going back the same way. There's that field. I always remember that field. It has the weird enemies. What are they, Driders? It's called the Burning Forest. I wonder what the standard order. I'm literally following like what it's like. Again, I haven't done this in 5 years. What's the standard order to do these quests? I can't remember. There's obviously like a flow to it. It's giving me the next one usually. Oh, 60 gold. 60 gold. But I forget, like, if people would typically have done the Burning Forest before now, or if that logic will clear the path of patrols. 5 patrols. Okay. Pop-ups. Monk, healing them. I'm gonna punish that monk for doing that. Okay, next patrol. Does this count as one of the patrols? I didn't even aggro it. Look at my health. It's just like solved. They need to... Okay, here's a piece of advice. They should lower blind from 90%. It shouldn't be 90%. Blind should probably be like a 50% miss rate or maybe a 60% miss rate. Blind shouldn't be 90% because currently it causes 90% miss, which I think it's not quite fair because like basically all of Guild Wars is designed to like punish melee, and I understand like why certain power creep would have led to that situation, but it's basically caused like the tyranny of the caster classes over the melee classes, which doesn't need to be the case. So they need to, if you have like the balance team needs to look very carefully at ways, like look at that, like they're casting barrage and it's not even landing. Like you see those, like literally I saw a few barrages like come, not a single arrow landed. Like boom, there was a barrage, not a single arrow landed. That's not fair. Like that blind needs to be a lower percent effectiveness. It's 90% is too high. It's too easy to apply. And even when it does get applied, it shouldn't be 90%. And then there's a few other things that like very grievously injure melee classes. It's like tyranny over the caster classes. Come on. He's not using skills, which is why he's not... That's funny. It's like... That shows you how reliant this team is on punishing enemy skill casting. I have 5 patrols left. What counts as the patrols? Like... I'm sure they have answers. Maybe it's further up along this green line, the dotted line. Look at that. So I'm surrounded by melee. I have 4 warriors attacking me. Ranger, 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 ranger. I have 5 rangers attacking me. And my health bars literally are just not budging because my extend conditions basically like guarantees that they're gonna have like a ruinous amount of blind like shared broadly, which is obscene. It's like almost like pornographic, like so bad. It should like, please, 2 weeks. I'm reading that. Go back. Go to the whiteboard, and this is what you put at the top of the whiteboard. You say, we're gonna delete Mesmer. And then there can be peace. No, but really, I've given a lot of advice in this video, but yeah, the way I would approach the coming Mesmer, I think it's coming. I think the first patch was just to see how the community reacted, but I think they need to do it for real. And the way I would do it is you look at these 4 skills, take the damage off of Cry, most of the damage. You can have it do like 20 damage. Take most of the damage off this. Take most of the damage off of this. It's... Because if you think about the trade, like... I have 5 patrols left. What are the... Maybe it's literally only talking about a few mobs like around the entrance. You have to... So when I'm building my build and when I'm thinking about all these interactions, like you cannot beat basically this. So these 4 skills together just on this one character solves most of the game. Think about it. So he's like ruinously every 10 seconds ish, he's ruinously punishing melee here on an AoE basis, not only with damage but a shutdown. And then these 2 skills on the outside are grievously punishing spellcasting. And then these two at the end, again, just complete spellcast domination over... It's like basically like Elementalist for dinner. A Warrior for dinner. Ranger for dinner. The game shouldn't be like that. I would like to see the shutdown of Mesmer sort of pulled apart. Like I think Mesmer has a lot of cool ideas. It's obviously the most unique class. It does unique things, but I think it would be smart to like pull apart the... They did this in Guild Wars 2, actually. They removed the damage from the CCs. Because they were having this problem where like the fears would do a lot of damage. They kept it in PvE, which actually I think is also a mistake. But in PvP, like, you need to think about the Guild Wars 2... I remember this very distinctly. Like, they literally had a patch, I forget when. It was a long time ago, like, probably 10 years ago. They put out a patch, and literally, like, as the explanatory notes for the philosophy of the patch, in Guild Wars 2, they were like, we want to separate CC from damage in PvP. So if a skill does big CC, they lowered the damage down to almost nothing. And I think... You know, and they did keep some damage in PvE, but I think it would be smart to kind of adopt a little bit of that I have 2 Shadow Patrols left. I think it's literally talking about individual mobs, not the whole patrol. So I think it'll be the Ranger. Oh, it literally is a Shadow Patrol. It literally is a mob called Shadow Patrol. It's not a patrolling mob. It's not like a... I thought it was like a... Because a patrol, like, think about English language. A patrol could be a whole group walking, like it's a patrolling group. That's funny. Funny. They had an actual mob named Shadow Patrol. Which, look, I'm being attacked by high-level rangers and warriors, and it's not even connecting. It's not fair. It shouldn't be like that. It's not fun. Well, it is fun, but only fun for a little bit, and then people get bored. Like, once you solve, that's I think one of the reasons why, like, the power creep, because it obsoleted half the classes in the game. Literally, like, you need to think about this on a psychological level. It's like, if you give the cat, like, we are cats. Like, the human players are cats. We're playing with mice. Like, you know how a cat, like, plays with a mouse? How, like, if the mouse dies, the cat loses interest and walks away. Like, if you actually let us kill other like obsolete rangers and warriors, yeah, it's fun to absolutely destroy them, and like they're casting, attacking, and none of it's connecting. That's fun, but basically the mouse is dead at that point. It's not a living mouse. The cat's gonna lose interest, and I think that's a little bit what happened, and maybe why people got bored of Guild Wars 1. Like, obviously there's still a community, but enter the Tower of... Is there a trigger that I didn't hit? This is a problem. Is this a bug? There's a path. Oh. After the way to the tower is cleared, you'll have to send one of your party members back to the forge to fetch the mage. Does it say that if I read this paragraph? I'm gonna go up this left path. Does it... Okay, that's fine. I have to go back to and fetch the mage. Okay, if you can just... Yeah, it does say that. If you can destroy the Shadow Patrol's guard in the path, I will send Eternal Sigil mages to force open the tower gates. Okay, I wonder how many people that's thrown off. Like, you don't read you only follow the quest steps, but you don't... Because it actually doesn't specify you need to go back and grab the mage, unless you, like, read the whole paragraph, which... Couldn't... Yeah, that doesn't happen. making me run all the way back. All right. And of course, as usual, my healer is lagging, and oh, and look, his refrains fell off. Of course. $60 gold. Thank you. Okay, here's the Tower Mage. Is he following me? No. Come on, little guy. I wonder if I cast. Yes. It won't refresh because I don't have any shouts that target him, but I can just manually recast it. Oh, look, he's going faster than me. That might be a problem. No, not really, but let's go, little guy. That's nice. I like that. I like that I can manually make somebody go faster for 20 seconds. That's actually really powerful. Aura of Restoration. You don't need that, little guy. The way is clear. I wonder what class he is. Necro? Yeah. Okay, not a problem. So, how many quests is that? We are now... Your party has completed 9 of 11. So, we're definitely getting there. Return to Eternal Lord Terry's for your reward. Passage? That's not here. Okay, Slaves of Menzies. And the Hunt. Hunting Shard Wolves. Did I skip that? I'm gonna go do that. I'm actually close enough to do that. Which way is that? That is down. Wait. Directly south of the temple. And the temple is over here. So it's like... I'm gonna do the hunting quest. This is not a speedrun, you guys. I'm not familiar. I'm literally doing this as a noob, like... with only a small amount of game knowledge about this area. Okay, so directly south of the tower, which is... The tower is that path. Directly south is this way. Nimros the Hunter right there. Three monks. Okay, these 3 monks are very annoying. This is not necessarily dangerous for me, but they're wasting my time. Look at that. It's like what is that, like a 12-second resurrect? How about the... They just fell off again. Hunting shard wolves. Okay, well, there's a shard wolf. Are they... Should I have... Are the shard wolves in the cave? Oh my gosh. What an absolute waste of time. I'm so sorry to everybody for not knowing this. That's a DC. I'm gonna be right back. Did somebody touch the electricity? No. Literally just sitting there? Yeah. Okay. Why? Okay, so not a problem. Thankfully, Guild Wars has a very strong disconnect after reconnect, but this is incredibly... Just ask my roommates if they mess with the internet. Okay, thank goodness. That would have been really annoying. Okay, so there is one here. There's nothing in the cave, but I see that on the far side of the cave. Okay, that's really annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the cave out onto the beach. I'm going to run along the beach, up. I'm sure this is a solved problem, and people who know the game... Oh, I lost all my refrains. And it's no longer... So use skill space 3. So that's the toolbox command. Use, or slash... You guys can't see my chat, but it's slash use skill space 3, or whichever position they're on fire is, and it'll cast on recharge if you have toolbox. That's a must-have. I disconnected just then and lost. It stopped. I'm glad I caught that because it would make my refrains fall off. Of course, it wouldn't have escaped my awareness for long. So as we go finish up the shard wolves, I'm gonna oh, that's so annoying. I'm sure the shard wolves is something that people would have activated earlier and taken a different path, but I wasn't even aware they were there. It's been too long. But then we'll wrap this up. And so I guess we'll just have that little bit of time together. I'm like sweating my absolute friggin' face off. Guilt. Wastrels. Panic. Power Spike. Shatter Hex. Oh no, that's my guy. Shame. Guilt. Drain. I love seeing my skills in the wild. They're like little baby versions of my guys. It's like, oh, if only you guys had spent like 10 years optimizing your build, you wouldn't like die instantly. Okay, I'm not so familiar with this. Oh, there's a shard wolf. Okay, so finishing. This is not pathed well. Like, I'm completely admitting this out in the open. If you look at like the length of this video, and you're like, oh, he's not running as fast as other people. Well, yeah, like I'm not running as fast as other groups. This build is not quite the fastest, like I said earlier in the video. Not quite the fastest. It's built for safety, and it's also optimized for hard mode, Foundry of build creations. So not the fastest, but definitely among the safest. Driftwood. Okay, so I got my refrains back up. Is it faster to fight through this way? It might have been faster just to run the other way around. Too late now. So I got my, and I'll start casting mending. Yeah, I'm literally starting to get bored. like obviously I'm gonna finish a run, but that's why I don't do this, is because it's like most of the time it's like, okay, waiting for my waiting for my team to destroy them. Like, it's fun for a little bit, but it's more fun to actually be up against competitive foes, which is one of the reasons why I personally like to see Mesmer get nerfed, because it would make the rest of the game more competitive. Even the, like, I'd like to see like melee be more competitive. I mean, be careful what you wish for. I'm sure they're gonna put out a patch, because now that the game's like active development, I'm sure they're gonna put out a patch which is gonna do exactly this. And June 24 was only the beginning. Okay, so he's actually he actually casted it himself. The nice thing about mending on a hero is that he'll cast it automatically, so you don't necessarily need to like overly worry about it, because he'll cast on who needs it, but by the time you need it, there's a chance that the rest of your party needs it, and they won't have it because the recharge is pretty long. So it's better to get it out of the way before the combat even starts to get the mending on them. Okay, so there should be a shard wolf just below the tower. I will give it to energy surge teams. They would probably do this faster. But not safer. Unless they had a human that was pumping, in which case maybe it would be safer. But I'm lazy. I build the safety into my heroes. Shard Wolf. Okay, so I've killed 3. No. I've killed 2. Not it. Really? I've killed 2, not including this one, so it'll be 3. I'll have 4 left. Let me just plan my... So, obviously I'm gonna run... So I'm right here. I'm gonna run around... I'll have to hit the forest again. That's why. I was wondering why the forest had a little line going sideways. And then I'll go back into the field of battle, and then I'll go... So... Wait, am I missing one? Wait. And then up here... There's... Yeah, that'll complete the circle when I'm by the tower. Okay. Well, that's annoying. I have to run across, like, the entire zone. Thankfully, a lot of it's clear... Obsidian flesh? Okay, he's getting wanded to death. And then signets. What? Okay, that's an interesting skill to have, because he's immune to spells, right? So if somebody has Obsidian, what would my team do? Signets. So I have Unnatural Signet, and I have Signet of Clumsiness, which is probably more than enough. What else? This Signet, and then Wanding. Okay, so my healer fell out of shot range, so these are going to fall off him. So if you guys are just tuning in, we are... Oh, it's guiding me. I saw today, June 29, it might have been pushed yesterday, an update to Guild Wars Toolbox to this green line. It used to... Look how perfectly it tracks my character now. Previously, it would kind of like jerk along a pathway, like not precisely tracking your character. But look, it's now this green line that Guild Wars Toolbox gives you to complete your quests. Look how far back my healer is. The green line now perfectly tracks your character, which is... I saw that in the update notes literally when I was launching the game like an hour ago. That's very well designed. That's very nice that he did that. It must track the nav meshes really closely. Man, he must have... The guy who makes Guild Wars Toolbox must have... first of all, I don't know who makes it. I need to look into that, but he must have very intimate knowledge of the architecture of this game, because he's pulled it apart and put it back together. Like, they might need to look into that. Yeah, Toolbox is like... I would say they should hire him on, but it's not really a full-time thing. But they what I think 2 weeks should do is work with him, maybe hire him part-time, pull out some of his best ideas, especially like interface, autocasting, bond tracking. Like, you know how in Guild Wars 2, how they allow you to highlight one skill and set it to autocast? Okay, so there's the Shard Wolf. They should allow you to autocast one skill in Guild Wars. That would be kind of cool if you could control-click and set one skill to autocast. Or if they could re-architecture refrains to make them party-wide. I was thinking, right now you have to go through refrains and target each party member individually. What would make Paragons much more competitive? I think Heroic Refrain is overpowered, so they should probably take down Heroic Refrain like a notch, maybe only like 2 attributes, so it's not like so like unbelievably broken. Oh, look, it's having me run up this way. Up and over the top, which, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if I can squeeze through here. Yes. Okay, cool. So I think if you wanted to balance Paragon and actually make like it kind of like a... Because Paragon's in a really weird state. It has like 2 completely broken, overpowered builds. There's Ibogon to cast... what's it called? Save Yourselves? No, the one that gives all party members plus 100 armor. That skill. There's one built around getting enough adrenaline to cast that, and then there's Heroic Refrain. But that's really all the Paragon does, because he's otherwise too weak for healing, too weak for spear. I would like to see if they could make refrains affect all party members. That would be a really cool update. It would prevent a lot of this like standing still, but then also bring down Heroic Refrain. So maybe I could bring some of these refrains, but not the hero. Like I could bring another elite, for example. Like you could maybe have like a hybrid like spear attack with hasty refrain. That'd be really cool. With a different elite, if you would make refrains a party-wide shout rather than individual, because sitting there for a minute and going down your party list and casting them individually 8 times is not fun. It's not what we're here for. Um, like, I would like to be maybe a little bit more... Like, I sort of like being very passive and letting my heroes be turrets, but it's not the best, like, gameplay for most people, probably. So that's one way they could update Paragon. It would be cool for them to update the healing skills. I think it could probably be... Like, I literally... It's so obsolete that on this human, I didn't even buy... Like, let's go to a Paragon. I'm just looking at motivation while they finish out this last mob. It's just not good. Like, it's just not competitive. It's not... Like, 50 health? For 10 seconds? Like, everything needs to be doubled. Like, everything needs to be just doubled and the recharges halved. Maybe I'll think about it. Like, that's all I have to say about motivation. It should... Paragon Healer would be really cool. I think, like, obviously it was designed around having healing capabilities, but the skills were never there. Monks... Like, maybe you could make monks... Like my ideal for Paragon would be you'd be, like, 75% of a monk, so that if you need healing, you can bring a monk. Oh, a Shard Wolf. Hello. If you need healing, you could bring a monk, but then if... Like, you wanted a hybrid with, like, some damage, you could bring a Paragon with a spear. That would enable, like, a lot of cool synergies, because, you know, Paragons do have, like, a nice ability to power up other melee classes, and there's a lot of, like, interesting ideas on Paragon that just, like, never happened because, like, they just never happened. Where is it taking me? I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not going to go that way. I don't like that. Is there a quest on that burning field? There is. There has to be. Yeah, I'm not going to go that way. Sorry. It's just too many battles. I'm just going to play it safer and just not go that way. Like, I could, but my ultimate fear right now, because I literally haven't played this in so long, my fear is, like, I'm gonna bump into something in the field that causes instant wipe. I'm not worried about combat. I'm worried about, like, there are some quest conditions that instantly kill you, instantly eject you from the map. People who know the... Look at that yellow. That's pretty. That's nice. I like that distance fog. I don't remember that. So, where's my auto run key? It's not bound. It's now bound. Okay, where's the quest giver? Given by Miko the Unchained. In the Burning Forest. Where's Miko? Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna retreat. Meteor shower. Okay, I do know meteor shower is a thing, and I was kind of not paying attention. This is fine. I'm gonna stand behind my team. If necessary, I'll bail. This could be a problem. I did not mean to aggro. Like, I was just kind of, like, charging forwards. I'll let them... Oh, look, they got the Hydras. Okay, so it's the Hydras that are... Okay, so, like, in my heart, like, okay. Again, like, I'm not familiar with this quest. Like, as in, like, the game knowledge. It's actually a little bit, what's the word? Rusty? The game knowledge here is rusty. Ooh, and shard, thank you. Yeah, if like, the one thing you do kind of need to watch out for is, like, right when you first engage, sometimes the enemies can get a few spells off because you haven't hit them with guilt, you haven't hit them with frustration or arcane conundrum, and, like, while those skills are being cast by my team, that first encounter, like, is a little bit, so it's the Hydras that could be risky. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit conservative here. I don't want to lose my run. There's probably strategy, like, this is probably, again, like, this game is so old, this is probably, like, a solved problem for most people. But, okay, oh shit, I think I aggroed two groups. I'm going to bail again. I don't normally bail like this. It's not my style, but I don't have the game knowledge, like, the confidence to just, like, allow Hydras to hit me with Meteor Shower without, like... Okay, there's only two Hydras, and they get... So they walk up close to get their Inferno off, which Meteor Shower fails. More Hydras. Okay, so there's a Meteor Shower. Okay, keep going, little guys. Okay, I'm watching this. Okay, I don't want him to get that Meteor Shower off. Okay, I think the worst of it's past us. Another Meteor Shower. Again, it might be a noob move to, like, retreat like that, but I had to, like, kind of pull back to regain control over a situation where actually my game knowledge is not that deep. I haven't done this in many, many years, but it looks like we'll be okay. I think the only dangerous is that Hydra, and even, well, it's over. Playing it a little bit conservatively, it would be so embarrassing, because this is recorded live. It would be very embarrassing for me to... I'm probably at an hour and a half at least now. I don't have a timer. So what am I doing now? Destroy the Shadow Overlords. I have 4 Lords remaining. I'm going to move slowly. Not because... Yeah, I don't have the game knowledge. I don't understand the patrols. So I'm just going to slowly and surely, like, carve out a safe a safe channel. I'm gonna hug this wall. One Hydra. Which is gonna hurt my time. You're gonna look at my time and be like, oh, he's not competitive. I'm not. I don't think my routing. This is not competitive routing at all. Okay, eyes on the map, eyes on the patrols. How do I want to approach this? I could try to squeeze through this gap, but I'm gonna aggro this one and see if it's part of a mob. Yes, it's part of a party with these two on the side that are coming over. So we'll just get this taken care of. Very slow, very conservative. So this is pretty cool. What I like about this team, again, I've been complaining about it's like a little bit slower, and I'm moving a little bit slower because of, you know, oh, wow, look at all those enemies. Okay, do I want to literally kill everything? Okay, so Shadow Overlord, they're in there. I'm gonna Shardwolf. I am going to slowly pull. I'm not overly worried unless I aggro more. So I'm watching the patrols. Okay, I definitely feel much more in control over this situation. I don't want to over aggro, but I'm also feeling more comfortable like approaching and pulling from directly like right here. These have been very easy to pull, and their patrols are not too wild. So there's the Shardwolf. I think there's only one Shardwolf. Yes, one Shardwolf remaining. And okay, so I'm gonna get my shouts up, flag. Why do I always end up on my spear? I don't remember switching. I have no intention of using my spear at any time during this run. Remember, if your heroes are flagged, you have to go back within range within like 10 seconds. Okay, so there's the pull. Ooh. I'm literally like preparing to dip. Did anybody die there? No. I just ran out of range and lost my... Did I pull more than I meant to? Okay. Okay, they are getting pounded by Meteor Shower. So just bringing them back a little bit. Okay. In defense of myself, game knowledge, lacking. Patrols, lacking. That kind of knowledge. But it's like a testament to like the fact that I'm, you know, finishing this whole run is a testament to generally the tankiness and flexibility of this team. Like, you can have some deaths, But like, it usually doesn't spiral into catastrophe. It's usually capable of recovering even from like pretty catastrophic mistakes. Okay, so actually man, I really am gonna have to pull everything. Do I have a bow? I'm gonna enable weapon set 3. Remember, I don't normally play regular PvE. Like, I don't... so I probably have some really bad hygiene for pulling. Okay, so here's a longbow. That's good. That's a nice pull. Are you alone, little guy? Oh, it's an overlord. Hello. What are you doing by yourself? Okay, bow. Number 2. Pull number 2. Okay, switch out a bow. So so this group contains how many hydras? I'm gonna clear my flag because I don't want them all getting meteor showered. Okay, there's one meteor shower interrupted. Okay, meteor shower, please interrupt. No. Okay, so that got off. Moving out of the way of that meteor shower. Ooh, that's a big pull. They got panicked, taking this opportunity to allow, like, I'm not flagging my heroes because I need them doing their cycles. Performance looking pretty good. That panic right on the group saved me. Thank you. Thank you for that panic. That is very nice. Okay, so my goal here is to kill the overlords, right? So I wonder if I can, like, literally just pull one out. Overlord might save me a fight or two. I got the Mesmers. Okay, I'm actually not afraid of any of these. I've destroyed all the elementalists, so I'm actually going to just kill them, like the old-fashioned way. Just gonna do a full send. Okay, so there's... This is really exciting. I'm like starting to get, like, my heart is starting to pound because I'm about to, like, basically do the full run blind. Like, I'm just stepping into Fissue of Woe. Like, day 1, first try. What are you? Quicksilver. Quicksilver. Interesting. Nice illusion skin. It's Q10, so it's not... Let's see that skin. That's a pretty skin. Wow, that's it. So, I think that's... Where's my last wolf? Lockpick, thank you very much. So this is very exciting. So I'm about to wrap up. I think I need to kill my last wolf, but I'm gonna turn in my quest, my Burning Forest quest, the Slaves of Menzies. Then I will. I missed that wolf. So there he is, Shard Wolf right there. I'm gonna kill my last wolf, and we will send this home. That's really exciting. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. If you guys want to stick around for the very end, you know, I'm not a pro YouTuber, but subscribers do make me feel good. If you guys want to give this video a thumbs up, you know, as they always say, thumbs up, and if you want to click the subscribe button, again, I'm not a pro YouTuber. I never intend to make money doing this, but if you guys have enjoyed like the insights that I have, if you've enjoyed the build that I've spent a long time making, if you have comments, I'm sure you do, you have a lot of thoughts about my team, my performance, the balance patch, the state of the game. It's a very exciting time to be a Guild Wars player, and I'm really glad that you guys have joined me. So I'm going to finish up this Shard Wolf. Let's get the conversation going in the comments, like what you guys think about this new patch. I'm a little bit hyped for it. Oh, there's a shard I never picked up. Free shard. Return to the forge to claim your reward. Congratulations, your party was victorious. That, I'm glad that they have that pop-up congratulations right in the middle of your screen. That's really nice of them. Makes me, ooh, that's a dead end. Makes me feel very good. Nice little touch. They don't really have that too often. So what I want to know is, like, if you guys have specific skill recommendations. In particular, like, what I'd be interested in is your guys' ideas for these new Mesmers. So most of my build is pretty locked in. I've been I literally only added extend conditions. Why is it sending me this way? Oh, the hunter. That's weird. I guess it's just the extra experience it'll give me for turning in the quest, because it already said congratulations. Okay, but I guess I'll do that for completeness sake. So, sorry, my roommate is vacuuming. You can probably hear the little, like, vacuum. So, with this update, the major change to my build was the Signet of Illusions. I now have these Illusion Mesmers that have these 2 hybrid skills, but somewhere I'm really open to input is the Aura of Restoration. That could basically be any skill in the game, because these Mesmers now have full access to, basically, like, they're not using their secondary profession, and whatever they use, it'll have literally 20 attribute. It'll literally be as powerful as it possibly could be, and it could be any skill in the game. So there is a ton of flexibility to be had, a lot of build crafting. If you guys want to look into, like, if you guys end up building this or something similar, Signet of Illusions has now, not only, like, does it enable these max skills here, but Aura of Restoration, that could be just about anything. So I'm really excited to keep developing this to see. Ooh, there's a chest of woe. Let's see what I get. Platinum wand, ancient short bow, lockpick. Thank you. Obsidian, onyx, obsidian key, passage scroll. That'll save me 1,000 gold. So I guess I'll line up for that final shot. Before that, nice yellow distance haze. So I just want to say /bow. Thank you everybody for watching. It's been really fun spending this time with you. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. If you guys have any comments, I'd really like to hear your input in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. And rock on. See you later. Bye now.